2, 1.
7 things you probably didn't know you need to know. I'm Jamie East and this is the Smart 7.
Well, good morning everybody. It's Thursday the 9th of December and it's World Techno Day. And a big happy birthday to Judi Dench, John Malkovich, Felicity Huffman and Donny Osmond.
7.
My remarks seemed to make light of the rules. That was never my intention. I will regret those remarks for the rest of my days and I offer my profound apologies to all of you at home for them. And this afternoon I am offering my resignation to the Prime Minister.
That was former Press Secretary and now former advisor Allegra Stratton offering a tearful apology as she resigned her post on live TV on Wednesday afternoon. She quit because a video leaked to ITV News in which she joked about the number 10 Christmas party. Boris is furious about the video but had no idea about a party.
I can understand how infuriating it must be to think that the people who have been setting the rules have not been following the rules, Mr. Speaker, because I was also furious to see that clip.
He also announced that the Cabinet Secretary Simon Case would now investigate whether or not there was a party, but Downing Street wouldn't comment on whether Simon was actually at the possible party, but the Met Police won't investigate due to an absence of evidence. So, just to recap, Boris denies there was a party, the person who made jokes about the party has had to resign, the investigator might have been at the party, and Boris is mainly annoyed about the video rather than a party that happened where he lives that he wasn't invited to.
I apologise for the impression that has been given that staff in Downing Street take this less than seriously. I'm sickened myself and furious about that. I've been repeatedly assured that the rules were not broken.
Not entirely surprisingly, the opposition were unconvinced by Boris's not party and his outrage over his staff's video banter. Labour leader Sir Keir Starmer is particularly annoyed that when he asked last week and multiple times since, he was told there had been no party.
Millions of people now think the Prime Minister was taking them for fools and that they were lied to. They're right, aren't they?
SNP Westminster leader Ian Blackford had a pretty straightforward view on what Boris should do next.
It is clear that the Prime Minister desperately is clinging on to power, and I've got nothing left to say to a man who we simply cannot trust. So, Mr. Speaker, it is time for members in this House to act. If he doesn't resign, then he must be removed.
With absolutely no sense of irony, at 6 p.m. on Wednesday, Prime Minister Boris Johnson popped up in the Big Blue briefing room to announce new COVID restrictions. He says the spread of the Omicron variant, which appears to be accelerating its speed, with 568 official cases but potentially as many as 10,000 already in the community, means it's finally time to break the glass on Plan B.
It's now the proportionate and the responsible thing to move to Plan B, so we slow the spread, buy ourselves the time to get yet more boosters into arms and understand the answers to the key outstanding questions about Omicron. From Monday, you should work from home if you can.
Alongside a return to working from home on Monday, hi kids, is the extension of mandatory face masks and the much discussed introduction of COVID vaccine passports.
We'll also make the NHS COVID pass mandatory for entry into nightclubs and venues, including unseated indoor venues with more than 500 people, unseated outdoor venues with more than 4,000 people, and any venue with more than 10,000 people.
Happily though, nativity plays and Christmas parties can go ahead, but presumably only if they're at 10 Downing Street. Following Tuesday's Zoom call with Vladimir Putin and a round of consultation with his international colleagues, US President Joe Biden had more details on what went on during the call. He's ruled out US troops being sent to the Ukraine, but there'll be plenty of support through NATO and a clear path of consequences if Russian troops step across the border.
I was very straightforward. There were no minced words. It was polite, but I made it very clear. If in fact he invades Ukraine, there will be severe consequences, economic consequences like none he's ever seen or ever have been seen.
Still to come on the Smart 7, Tom Holland pranks his little brother and tributes to reggae legend Robbie Shakespeare. Right after this.
You're listening to the Smart 7. If you're enjoying it, you might also like the Smart 7 Ireland edition. Just search and follow us on your favourite podcast platform.
3,
Wednesday night saw the final game of the group stages of the Champions League and Barcelona knocked out of the competition by Bayern Munich. Chelsea were on the road to face Zenit St Petersburg in search of a win to top the group. In the end, it finished 3-3, which puts Chelsea, the current holders, into second place in their group behind Juventus. It was the first Champions League outing for new Man United interim manager Ralf Rangnick as his side faced Swiss side Young Boys at Old Trafford. The game ended 1-1, which still sees United top the group, but Ralf wasn't thrilled with how things turned out.
We could have scored 3 or 4 goals. And we could have also conceded 2 or 3 goals. So if in the end the final score would have been 3-3 or 4-3 to us, nobody could have complained against that.
It's not an easy life being the world-famous web-slinger, but Tom Holland is mostly enjoying life as Spider-Man. No Way Home hits cinemas next week, and he popped up on Graham Norton's show to chat all things arachnid. Tom had spent a long day on set battling Doc Ock and was complaining on the way home about how physical the action can be when his little brother Harry basically told him to man up. Not long after that, Tom managed to get Harry a minor role as a burglar in the movie, and he pushed him to the absolute limit.
So we're doing this scene, Harry's upside down, swinging back and forward, and bless him, he's doing a really good job, and as the day is going on, he's got these lines, and he's starting to forget his lines, and his eyes look like they're going to pop out of his head. So we're driving home that day, and he's like, mate, you can complain as much as you want. That was brutal. And I was like, well, mate, you know, but the icing on the cake, and I don't think he actually knows this, we saw the film the other day, and they've cut the scene.
The death's been announced of Robbie Shakespeare, reggae legend and one half of duo Sly and Robbie. He was just 68 years old but had undergone recent surgery and was in a Florida hospital. He was regarded as one of the greatest reggae bass players of all time, and tributes flooded in, including from the Jamaican Prime Minister, Questlove and British artist Ghost Poet. He and Sly Dunbar worked with a huge range of artists, including Grace Jones, Madonna, the Rolling Stones and Britney Spears. He'd been nominated for 13 Grammys and won 2. He spoke to Channel 4 News in 2015 about how he approached music and creativity. Rest in peace, Robbie.
I cannot read and write music. I don't think Sly can read and write music, but we can feel everything of it. Yeah.
Where do you feel it?
You feel it every part of you, trust me. When I play, I close my eyes, and I see music sometime in colors. It's like an artist drawing a picture.
This has been The Smart 7. Wherever you're listening, do us a favour and hit the follow button. We'll be back tomorrow at 7 a.m. Have a great day. Written, produced and published by Daft Dog.